Okay, hi. My name is Alexandra, but I go by Allie, and I'm currently in my fourth year of early childhood studies at TMU. I never really know how to answer the question, who are you? I feel like because I'm at the age that I'm at, I'm constantly figuring out who I am. And I never really have a concrete answer to that question because I feel like who I am is constantly changing as a person. My project that I pursued throughout the course was to grow my photography portfolio. At the beginning of the semester, I came into the course knowing that I wanted my project to be about photography, but not really having any idea what that looked like or what that meant. I didn't know kind of the scope of what I wanted my project to be. So when I showed up to the class on the first day, I had literally no idea of what I was doing. The project now definitely is totally different from where I started. I am really happy with my portfolio that I have. I've been able to grow my following. I've done a lot of networking. I've taken on a lot of clients, and I've done a lot of paid work and had some really cool opportunities. I would say the journey was slow starting. I think, not that I wasted a lot of time, but I think a lot of my time at the beginning of the course was spent figuring out what I wanted to do, and I kind of wish I already came into the course knowing that. But once I figured out what I wanted to do, then I feel like it picked up really fast from there. And I was really surprised at how many followers I grew when I created my Instagram and how many people actually appreciated and thought that my work was good. I would say that I got a lot of encouragement from like my friends back home. They kind of saw the start of my photography passion. So they think it's really cool that I'm trying to make this more than just a hobby. So I feel like they were my biggest supporters throughout this. I think something that set me back the most is, I guess, the limited opportunities I have not being in a creative program. I think that kind of just made me have to work a lot harder because I don't have access to all of the equipment and the studios that people in the photography programs here have. And I think that this is also kind of a setback because not being able to be in a class and like surrounded by people that kind of share this same love of photography for me was a bit of a struggle, because I always kind of wish that I had someone I could turn to and be like, oh, I'm struggling with this right now, like, do you have any advice? I would say there was a lot more highs than there was lows. I got to shoot for Fashion Week, which was really cool. And I've met a lot of really cool people just by putting myself out there and networking. I would say something that I learned from customers was that my work is actually good. I think that it's really easy to doubt yourself and compare yourself when you're in a creative field, because there's always going to be someone out there that is doing something cooler and better than you. But shooting for brands and stuff and working just with friends and shooting content for them, I've received a lot of positive feedback, which was really refreshing because I think sometimes I really doubt that I am good at what I do. I would also say I received some good constructive feedback. I think one thing I learned from not so much customers, but just people I've shared with this project would be to, I guess, narrow it down and kind of pick a niche of what kind of photography I want to do. And I think that this is more of a long-term goal for me because I'm not really ready to limit myself to something so specific like wedding photography, for example. But I do understand, like, a lot of people that were saying this are industry professionals, so I understand that it's easier to pick an avenue in the industry and really, really work on that than just working on like little bits of everything else. I would say something I learned about myself is that I actually don't care what other people think about me. I think that this course has been really good for that because I've really had to push myself out of my comfort zone to get my work out there and get what I do out there. And at first I was really scared of being judged by other people, but then I realized that it's not that serious, and I actually really don't care what people think because I love what I'm doing and I'm having so much fun, and I feel like that's really all that matters. And when I think about it, like, the worst thing that can come from this is that it doesn't go anywhere, but I still had a lot of fun doing it. I would say I advanced in the field just by, I guess, putting my foot in the door. Before taking this course, I was, shooting content and taking photos, but I wasn't really networking, so I feel like a lot of people didn't know who I was or what I was doing. But just the opportunities I've had throughout the course, like shooting for brands and shooting for Fashion Week, I've been able to put my name out there to people who are in the industry and saying, like, hey, this is what I do, this is who I am, and you should definitely think of me, like, in the future for anything. So I think that that's definitely helped me advance in the field. My next steps are, I guess, to just keep doing what I'm doing, but I also want to figure out how I can turn what I've been doing throughout the course into a profession. I definitely would love to do freelance photography, but I'm not sure if that is something that I can use to support myself financially long term. So just thinking about, like, how I can make photography benefit me the most, I guess. I definitely have thought a lot about, like, teaching photography classes. Obviously I need to learn more about photography myself before I do that, but I'm definitely thinking about that in, like, terms of the future. And just maybe offering workshops or things like that. I think a piece of advice I would have given myself at the start would be to, I guess, push myself out of my comfort zone. I think that this is something that makes any person uncomfortable, so it was a bit of a struggle, but I wish that it was kind of something that I started doing before going into the course, so that way when I was in the course, I was already out of my comfort zone. But I think that that also is kind of just added to the journey I've had throughout the course. I would say my main takeaway from the course is that I don't know, there's so many, that everybody is really creative and unique. I think just being able to chat with other people in the course and see what they're doing for their projects was really cool. And it just blows my mind how cool other humans are and how creative they are. And I would say my value of the course is that it's honestly the best course that I've ever taken. And I cannot wait to tell everyone about it. And I'm very grateful I got to take this course because I'm not sure that I would have gotten this far with photography otherwise. So thank you, Nagin. It's been a pleasure. You are the coolest prof I've ever had. And I hope that our paths cross in the future.